It's Roxana from Metamorphosis Rocks. Today is Friday. I don't know what vlog number this is, and since I'm starting a new series next week, I think this one is 71. I'm not sure. But since I'm starting a new series starting Monday, I'm not going to name it with the number. Anyway, today's video is inspired by a Facebook post I posted yesterday night. And that Facebook post was inspired by something that well, natural disasters and religious fanatics and horrible people in general. And it will all make sense in the end, I promise. Anyhow, before I do that, I don't know if it's coincidence, if it's the clickbaity title, or if Peter Mon had anything to do with it. But yesterday's video was the highest video I've ever had. I had actually 22 views. I've never had 22 views, so I'm kind of... Well, no, that's not true. There was a video that got more than 22 views, but I think it was Trisha Paytas. I don't know why every time I mention somebody, but I was giving Trisha Paytas advice on, not giving up for something that happened. I don't remember. But anyway, I wanted to thank Peter Mon and his people, if it was because of him or because people that follow him decided to see if I was being mean to Peter Mon. I was not, but thank you very much. That was awesome. Now, let's go to the topic of this video. Now, the video is called Puerto Rico, Mexico, Religious Zealots and whatnot. And what I want you to understand is that this doesn't refer just to Puerto Rico and Mexico. We've had natural disasters. Several. We've had hurricanes, we've had earthquakes, we've had forest fires, and even though forest fires are usually created by a human, at the end of the day, I consider that to be a natural disaster because the trees disappear and they're the ones that get hurt. So anyway, I'm gonna read you the post first because I don't do receipts. I don't know how to edit this, so I can insert the screenshot and then keep on talking. So I'm going to read you what I wrote, and then I'm going to tell you what happened. So I wrote, I can't wait to see the answer to this question. And then in I can't say it, parenthesis, I wrote, can you feel the sarcasm? I'm going to read it the way I meant it. I'm going to humor you for a moment, and let's say that the world is truly coming to an end. Then what? Do you really think that all your praying now is going to make up for all the years you ignored God? Is it really possible? Give me a second. Is it really possible that praying might spare you? Are you second guessing whether Jesus is the way, or maybe thinking that you just should have been a better person? For the racist, misogynist ignoramus on the back, do you honestly think that because you love Jesus, God is going to ignore all the hate and ignorance you spread through the world? Now, as can be expected, somebody reacted saying, oh my God, you need Jesus. Somebody else who actually was nice enough to say it in public said to me, oh my God, God bless you. And I don't mean that in the evangelical sense. I just, I'm worried about you. And I explained to her what I am going to explain to you, which is the reason why I wrote that post. Now, we've had several disasters. We've had Hurricane Harvey in Texas. Shut up. Okay, for some reason, Google decided to talk. Let me turn this off. So the thing is that we had Hurricane Harvey that hit Texas. Then we had Hurricane Irma that decimated the islands. And even though I just named Puerto Rico and Mexico in the title, I mean everything that got decimated, stateside or island-wide. We have Hurricane Irma that just killed the islands, spared my island, but killed everybody else. Then you have Irma come up here and totally destroy half of Florida. And then it went up as a tropical storm and it wreaked havoc in South Carolina, I think it was. Then you had the earthquake in Mexico, and I believe there was more than one. Then you have Maria, Hurricane Maria. And, and Hurricane Maria basically went over the islands that Irma had already destroyed and finished the job, and then went to Puerto Rico and absolutely decimated my island. Now, the last 2 days I have spent way too much time watching TV because, number one, I want to see how my people are doing because we have no communication. Communication is lost. And second of all, because I wanted to see if there was any survivors in Mexico. I am Hispanic. That's who I am. And I I'm Hispanic first and then everything else second. Now, if you ask me if I'm Puerto Rican or Hispanic first, I'm Puerto Rican first, Hispanic second, and then everything else. But the bottom line is this. I'm not big on racism. I'm not big on discriminating against people. And I'm definitely not big on religion. I believe in God. Atheists don't hate me. I believe in God. I'm one of those people that believe that the same way I have a right to believe in God, you have a right to not believe in anything. I am not a big fan of churches because I've seen what churches do to people, or however you want to look at it. I definitely don't like religious fanatics. And one of the most disheartening things that I noticed yesterday in the comment sections, and yes, I do read the comments, mainly because sometimes in the comments, you find out how some people are doing. In the case of Puerto Rico, for example, people will post, I'm from Ponce and this is what's happening in my town. And I have friends that have family in Ponce and they don't know anything about their family. So I like to look at those so I can tag my friends on those comments so they know how their family's doing. I have family in a town called Guanica. We don't know anything about my family. As far as Mexico, I have friends in Mexico. I know people from Mexico. So it's always, that's the only reason why I read the comments, because usually the comments are full of trolls. Now, I made a joke last week about the fact that there were two hurricanes. One was called Maria and one was called Jose. And people were joking, well, where is Jesus? Because Maria and Jose is Mary and Joseph. Religious fanatics have taken that to mean that, well, Maria came and Jose came, now comes Jesus and the end of the world is near. And I got really angry at that for a couple of reasons. Now, I don't know if you've survived a hurricane or an earthquake. I've actually been in an earthquake, lucky for me, not as bad as the one Mexico just had. My dad survived the big one in Mexico, so he knew what it was like. I've survived small earthquakes. As far as hurricanes, I survived Georges. I survived David and Federico. I was not in Puerto Rico when Hugo, and I was not in Florida when Andrew, but I've seen what it did. However, I am living in Florida now, so I went through Irma, and it was not fun. And my heart is breaking for what my country looks like right now. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because people get very... It's hard enough not to have water and electricity. It's even worse when you lose everything you have. And normal people that don't get depression get really down on themselves when they find themselves with nothing. Now, this might be the best thing that happens to them, but they don't know that yet. And they're not going to see that for years. I've seen people that have gone back to zero and become even better and gotten even better afterwards. But that's not what you're thinking when you lose everything. As a person that survived a fire in my apartment and I lost everything, I can tell you that that's not the way you look at it. The way you look at it when it happens is, I just lost everything and I feel alone. And even though you're surrounded by people that are in the same circumstance you are, you feel really alone. So for any religious fanatic to come out and start talking about the end of the world and how repent of your sins because Jesus is coming and all this other crap, this is not the time for that. This is the time when you're supposed to do what Jesus said you were supposed to do, which is love thy brother as you love thyself, and help these people out. This is the time when you have $5 spare change or whatever, and you take it to the local place so that they can send it to the people that need it. Be it Mexico, be it Puerto Rico, be it the islands, I don't care where it is. And in fact, as I find resources for people to send money to, I'm going to post them down below. I don't have any right now. I like to do research because the big boys like the Red Cross and whatnot, the amount of money that actually ends up going to the people that need it is not to my liking. I guess is the way I should say it. I know for a fact that Puerto Rican basketball player, Barea, I think it's his last name, he created a GoFundMe for people in Puerto Rico, and the amount of money when GoFundMe takes their cut, The amount of money that actually ends up going to the people that need it is a lot. I don't know how he's if he's just gonna give that money to somebody or what. But if I see that there's not a lot of people getting money out, I'll probably post that link below. As far as Mexico, I believe they have a football player, and I do mean the real football, not American football. And I think he's in Spain playing football, and he is create. I don't know if it's a GoFundMe or what he created for the people in Mexico. And you can do your own research and do your own decision as to where to give money to or give stuff to. Don't send them clothes. I found out with time that sending them clothes is the worst thing you can do because they have no way of using the clothes and giving the clothes to. There's not enough people for the amount of clothes that they get, but they do need water, bottled water. Um, if you are a hurricane survivor like we are, I actually took my canned goods because I hate canned goods. But when there's a hurricane, it's the best thing in the planet. I took my canned goods and I actually gave it to a center for old folks that they had no electricity and they had no way of going anywhere. So I send that stuff to them. I send them medical stuff like masks and what do you call this? Band-aids and that sort of thing. They need that kind of stuff by the truckload. Now, I know, for example, in Orlando, we have, I can't remember if it's the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce or the Puerto Rico Chamber of Commerce in Florida. I can't remember. The bottom line is the Chamber of Commerce. They have 2 or 3 places where they're getting canned goods and that sort of stuff. And I still have some stuff here that I think I can send them. And I'm going to go and buy them a couple of things. I have a credit card with like $20 left. I'll use that. I don't care. But send them stuff that they really need. Medicine. I'm pretty sure they're gonna need a lot of Dayquil, Nyquil, allergies medication, cold medication because it's wet and it's not cold in Puerto Rico, but for some reason when it's wet it feels cold. So and there's a lot of germs going on, so you're gonna need a lot of medication. They're gonna need a lot of band-aids and a lot of stuff like that. They're gonna need I don't know how to say agua oxigenada in English, but it's the brown bottle with the water that you use for when you have a scrape or something. Um, I for some reason carbon monoxide is coming to my head, but it's not. That's not it. It's oh God, I forgot. It's the water that you pour in your head so that your hair color goes lighter. I forgot the name. Anyway, things that they really do need. That's the stuff. Neosporin. You can send them neosporin for cuts and bruises. Band-aids, water, and more water. Bottled water, they need tons of. So that kind of stuff, if you go to the store and you normally buy 3 bottles of water, buy 4 and donate that one. That's what I mean. You don't have to take money out of, if you're strapped for cash, like most of us are, you really don't have to spend a lot of money to help somebody else. And by the way, you don't have to send it to Puerto Rico. We keep forgetting the people in Houston are still in trouble. The people in southern Florida are in a lot of trouble. In fact, people here in central Florida are also having some dark nights. So there's a lot of places where you can send help. There's a lot of people that need your help. I just mentioned Mexico and Puerto Rico because they're close to my heart. But that doesn't mean I don't know that there's other islands. Dominica, St. Croix, St. Thomas. I don't even know the names of all the islands that have been affected by all of these emergencies. And instead of pontificating and trying to make your religion of choice a thing, and to be honest with you, get these people more depressed than they already are, why not actually do what God told you to do and be good to somebody else? I mean, they really need it. And it would make you feel better than just pontificating. Now, as far as the trolls are concerned, the trolls that I was expecting to troll me, I actually have pretty good friends, and half of them live in Puerto Rico, so they don't have access to the internet, so they probably didn't see the post to begin with. But here's the thing. You can be a positive influence on social media, or you can be a troll. I'm not saying you can't disagree with somebody. I have absolutely no problem. And I've always said this in all my pages and all my social media. I always say the same thing. I have absolutely no problem with somebody disagreeing with me. If you're respectful and you tell me, I disagree with you because of this, and that is not a troll. That is somebody that disagrees with me. And I welcome that because sometimes people have made me change my mind about things. A troll would be somebody that would disagree with me, and instead of saying to me, I disagree with you because of this, would say, well, you're an idiot. Well, you're a troll. Because you're not giving me a reason to change my mind. You're just calling me names. That's a troll. A person that sits around all day pontificating about how we are all going to hell in a handbasket because we allow gay marriage and this and this and that, those people are trolls. I wish those people could be eliminated out of social media. If you are so miserable in your life that the only way that you find a reason for living is to sit around on social media calling people names, not having a creative or constructive argument for anything that you're saying, and just being a rotten person, first of all, I don't care how much you found Jesus, you're going to hell. You are. You just are. Second of all, you're a horrible person. You need to get a life. Go and donate some time to a soup kitchen somewhere. Go and actually confront the people that you so hate. Live with them for a little while. See if your heart doesn't open up and you realize what a moron you are. Stop being a troll. Stop trying to shove your beliefs up people's, you know what. There is no reason, and I want you to understand what I'm trying to say because some people get it twisted. I'm not saying that you cannot be thankful that God spared all these lives and that all these people are alive. But don't walk around saying that God only saved the good people and the bad people just died. That's a horrible thing to say, and it's not true. Not everybody that dies is a bad person. Because what would that mean if you died tomorrow? That you're a bad person and that's why you died? Mind you, I think you are a bad person, but that's beside the point. You might be a wonderful person and you just get your nasty kicks out on social media. I know a couple of people that are like that. They are the nicest people you'll ever meet. But then they go on social media and they turn into these beasts. And it makes me wonder if that is your real personality. It's kind of like when people get drunk and they actually tell you what they really think about you when they're drunk, but when they're sober, they're really nice to you. It's the same mentality. Is the nice person the real person, or is it the troll on the internet? Lots of questions for you guys today. Hopefully, some of you tell me what you think, and we can start a conversation because it is really sad. It's very, very sad to watch people talking about their loved ones, asking if anybody's heard about some person, and the next comment over is, oh, the world is coming to an end and we're all going to die. That's really, really nice of you to mention that. And yes, I'm being sarcastic. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Oh, and before I forget, I don't know how much you can see because I know that this is a little blurry, but this is red. It's red for the people of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico se levanta. So if you want to support Puerto Ricans, and actually for me, it's just everybody everywhere that has suffered at the hands of Irma or Maria or even Harvey. We're red today. Today's Friday. We're red. Thank you.